Well, good Monday morning, South Central. Waking up, you may have noticed there was a noticeable chill in the air this morning. Many locations across the state have been dipping below freezing here in South Central. We're also watching the potential for several consecutive mornings where those overnight lows will be sitting at or below freezing. For the fall months as a whole, we certainly have been dealing with a lot quieter weather than we typically see for this time of year. We usually see several fall storms that have already occurred, and you notice as you step outside, we're still holding on to some of those sunny conditions. That fall foliage still on those on those trees, although we are beginning to see some of those leaves really beginning to drop to the ground. And anytime we see some of those fall storms and winds pick up across South Central, that will lead to more of those leaves falling off the trees. Notice the morning lows across South Central this morning dropping into the 20s and the 30s. Anchorage did dip down near that freezing mark. Now East Anchorage managed to drop into the upper 20s and the lower 30s, and that's what we can expect to see through the rest of this week is several consecutive mornings with those overnight lows dropping near or below freezing, which means any rain showers we see, those wet roads, could lead to some slick spots across parts of South Central. Not everyone will see it, but you want to go ahead and get into that wintertime driving, as we will anticipate or expect to see some of these light rain showers later this evening, overnight into tomorrow. And where those temperatures drop below freezing, that's where we could see some slick spots. Notice wind chills this afternoon or this morning sitting at 6 in Anaktuvuk, 27 in Utqiagvik. A large portion of the state seeing those wind chills dropping below freezing. Out west, we do have those wind chills sitting in the teens and the 20s, and expecting that to stick around for a large portion of the day. And that's largely due to our current weather pattern. What we have ongoing across the state, notice mainland Alaska, fairly quiet. Now we are watching the potential for some light snowfall through the eastern interior throughout the first part of the day, and then into the middle of the week we'll be watching some additional rounds of some light rain and snow mixing in through parts of the interior out towards the Dalton Highway. We could expect to see some light accumulation the next couple of days, and then out towards the Brooks Range we're also watching the potential for some snowfall here over the next couple of days. So what we have is an area of low pressure in the Gulf of Alaska. We've got a ridge of high pressure out towards the western Aleutians, and embedded within that is our northwesterly flow. That's pumping in some of those cooler conditions, and that's also leading to some breezy winds out west. That's why we're going to continue to hold on to those wind chills in the teens and the 20s for a large portion of your Monday. And when you look at the upper level pattern, we've got a trough that has been digging south across the state. That has been pumping in some of those cooler conditions, and this week will be noticeably cooler compared to what we've seen from previous weeks. In fact, a large portion of this week may stay in the 40s for highs compared to the 50s that we have been seeing. So there's that trough that continues to remain with us. It will kind of weaken some here over the next couple of days with the primary impacts of the coldest weather to our north and to the interior, the Brooks Range out west, although here in South Central we will continue to hold on to some of that cloud coverage, and those temperatures will remain on the cooler side. But we are going to continue to see temperatures steadily drop here over the next couple of days, really noticing it through the overnight hours for a large portion of Alaska. So those temperatures today expected to warm upper 40s. A few locations across South Central may manage to warm into the lower 50s, but I think most locations will stay in the 40s. One thing we will be watching is the potential for some evening rain showers, and that's primarily going to impact today, Prince William Sound, and then into the evening hours we may see that impact parts of the inland areas from Anchorage into the valley. So we'll be watching that potential overnight into your Tuesday. Largely expecting mainland Alaska to remain fairly quiet over the next couple of days, with the outside chance that we will see some passing snow showers here and there through the interior out towards the Brooks Range. Even with that occurring, no significant impacts outside of that first really good dusting of snowfall for many areas. But we'll continue to hold on to that light rain showers for coastal regions of South Central out towards southeast. Additional rounds of rain looking likely as well. We did see that landslide out towards Ketchikan through the weekend. Saw that the ground itself very saturated. We did see those flood advisories for parts of Ketchikan that occurred through the weekend. Today we're going to see some rain continue, although nowhere near the amount of rain we did see through the weekend. On average, we'll likely see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall here over the next couple of days for southeast, with lighter amounts falling through the southern inner channels. Ketchikan and surrounding locations may see up to a half an inch, while the rest of southeast sees about 1 to 2 inches of rain. But here over the the next couple of days, we're going to continue to tap into those cooler conditions. Notice largely absent from mainland Alaska is any significant storm system over the next couple of days. So we are going to see, despite the cloud coverage, fairly quiet weather here across South Central. Outside of that, chance of seeing some rain showers overnight into your Tuesday and Wednesday. 4 locations that do manage to see that rain. Again, Prince William Sound, eastern parts of the Kenai, and then building inland for Anchorage into the valley overnight into your Tuesday and Wednesday. That is where we're going to see that better chance for some rain. And again, with temperatures dropping down near freezing each night, you will encounter some slick spots across South Central. So go ahead and get into that wintertime drive mode. As you get out on the roadways, you want to go ahead and get in that mindset because it's only a matter of time until we see our first official snowfall. And while there is no snow in the 7-day forecast, if you're heading out towards Thompson Pass or driving through Thompson Pass, be prepared for some potential for some light snowfall. Now, when will we see our first snow here in South Central? We may have to wait until the middle to the end of October. That's certainly something that we're going to continue to watch. Last year, October 5th was our first recorded snowfall in Anchorage, so we are going to be late this year compared to last year, but our average first snow typically occurs right around the middle of October. But for the foreseeable future, cooler weather staying with us and a chance for some rain showers. You can see those temperatures today topping out in the 30s and the 40s across Alaska, 35 in Utqiagvik, 37 in Nome. A large portion of the state will sit up under some form of cloud coverage as well. You can see out towards southeast. This is where we're going to hold on to those warmer conditions with temperatures sitting in the lower 50s. Now transitioning or shifting gears to Hurricane Milton. If you have any family members who live out in the Gulf of Mexico region, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, we are watching Hurricane Milton, which is now a Category 5 storm. It has been rapidly strengthening over the past couple of hours, really for the past several days. We've seen this hurricane itself really meander in the same spot in the southwestern Gulf of Alaska. Notice the latest update shows winds up to 175 miles per hour. 157 miles per hour is when it becomes a Category 5. So it has rapidly strengthened since 7 a.m. Eastern time this morning. 7 a.m. this morning, it was upgraded to a Category 4 storm with 120 mile per hour winds. An hour later, 8 a.m. Eastern time, we saw those winds increase to 125 miles per hour. And then by 9 a.m. up to 150 miles per hour. And you can see already up to 175. So rapidly strengthening. This is a strong Category 5 storm. It's going to continue to build off towards the northeast here over the next couple of days. It will will slide just north of the Yucatan Peninsula, leading to some impacts for parts of Mexico. The good news with this storm system, as it builds eastward into the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to encounter some wind shear, and that should allow it to strengthen significantly as it begins to make an approach towards the Florida Panhandle. Looking at a landfall somewhere between Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. Likely still going to be a strong Category 3 or 4 hurricane. Despite the category it's going to be, biggest impacts is going to be flash flooding as well as some storm surge. Out towards the Big Bend of Florida, we could see 1 to 3 feet of that storm surge. Out towards Tampa, surrounding locations, storm surge up to 12 feet looking possible. And then down towards the southern toe of the Panhandle, that is where we're going to see the potential for roughly 1 to 4 feet when it comes to that storm surge. So that is what we're going to be tracking here over the next couple of days. A large portion of Florida sitting up under hurricane watches, coastal flood watches, as well as coastal flood advisories. And again, we are going to be watching the potential for some flooding, as the biggest impacts when it comes to hurricanes outside of those winds is the storm surge and the flooding. In fact, most of the deaths that occur with hurricanes come from flooding. So we'll be again tracking that here over the next couple of days, making landfall sometime Wednesday evening into Thursday. Now here across South Central, temperatures daily warming into the mid to upper 40s. We will have a chance for some late day showers that will carry us into our Tuesday, and then additional rain showers look possible Wednesday into Thursday. No one day looks to bring a better opportunity for rain over the next couple of days, but we will keep it in the forecast. Daily highs mid to upper 40s. This weekend we will be watching a stronger storm system building in from the Aleutians. That's on our radar next as we welcome in the weekend, and you can see those overnight lows consistently dropping down near or below freezing. Now those overnight lows forecast forecast for the airport. So shave off about 5 to 8 degrees, and that's what you can expect to see through parts of East Anchorage here over the next couple of mornings. So be prepared. We will see several areas across South Central over the next couple of days dipping into the 20s as we tap into some of those colder conditions across the state. And you can see outside this morning, we do have some of the peaks of sunshine. Enjoy it because those clouds will thicken back up later this afternoon into the evening hours with a chance for some rain showers later today. Of course, we'll have more on that coming up at the noon show as well as into the evening newscast. For now, have a great Monday and enjoy what sunshine we do have.